What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're going to be doing our very first 10-year rebuild of NBA 2K26, and I thought there was no better team to start with, and of course who just had, or no team to start with a team that had the #1 overall pick. Of course, they took Cooper Flagg, so I feel like this was a great place to start for a 10-year rebuild. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump in and do a 10-year Dallas Mavericks rebuild in NBA 2K26. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like in this one, especially if you want to see more 10-year rebuilds, and subscribe if you're new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciate it. We're currently on the road to 50,000 subs, so if you are new around here and want to help us reach that goal, that would be amazing. So of course, as I mentioned, we're going to be starting our 10-year rebuilds with the Dallas Mavericks, who had the #1 overall pick in Cooper Flagg. You got AD, Kyrie Irving. Right now, this team is absolutely a contender, and we're all aware of that. So that's kind of where this starts, obviously. So right now, Kyrie Irving is out for now. We'll see when he comes back, whether it's late in the regular season or whatever it may be, but D'Lo will take his place, I presume. So we're going to go ahead and assimilate to the end of year #1, and we're going to see how this team does. Of course, we're all well aware of how good the Mavericks are in the 2K simulation, so I'm expecting good things out of the gate, and then we'll have to turn the chapter over into Cooper Flagg being the #1 option. But right now, he's just going to be kind of a guy behind AD and Kyrie. But I feel like that's going to be a good place for him to start in his career. And then we can kind of figure out how to surround him with talent after that. So at the end of year 1, we do get Cooper Flagg winning Rookie of the Year, which is obviously expected. We went 65-17. We kind of know how good the Mavericks are in the beginning years. So this first couple of chapters of this 10-year rebuild are going to be pretty easy for the most part. I'm not going to have to do anything too crazy, although AD is going to be out. Well, actually, it looks like he'll be able to play through it. But he's on the defensive second team, unfortunately got hurt. Cooper Flagg, of course, all rookie first team. So we end up as the first seed in the West, and here were your player stats. You had 24 from Kyrie Irving, 22 from Anthony Davis. Even Klay Thompson had 21 points a game, which is awesome, and 46% from 3 on 8 attempts. Wow, I mean, if you get that kind of Klay Thompson, and this year, I think you'd feel pretty good if you're the Dallas Mavericks. But let's go ahead and see if we can get a championship out of the way already. So AD is going to be able to play through those or play through that injury. So we'll go ahead and see what happens with that. So Denver is our round 1 matchup. So that's obviously going to be kind of a tough round 1 matchup, but Jamal Murray is out for them, it looks like. So that's big time for us. I don't know how long, but I presume he'll be out for the entire series, and we do beat them in 5 games. Now we draw the LA Clippers, who sometimes actually play fairly well in this first season. So definitely not, definitely not writing off the Clippers by any means. They're definitely a team that could beat us here. But somebody come around against them, and we do beat them in 6. So we're already in the conference finals, which, again, it's not really too shocking. But Minnesota is a team that often also makes it far. So let's see how this is going to go. 2-1 so far in the favor of us. And do we beat them in 6? Yes, we do. So we are in the NBA Finals already. We get to play the Cleveland Cavaliers, who are looking to finally break through out of the East, with the East being wide open over there. So let's see if we can't take them down 1-0, 2-0, 3-0. And yeah, of course, as expected, this video starts off on a hot note, which isn't surprising. The Mavericks are a good team in this 2K simulation, so nothing too crazy or out of the ordinary to start this off. I didn't see it at first, but Klay Thompson is going to retire. So, I mean, he just won a ring, so I kind of respect that, and he's going on a very hot note. He averaged 21 points a game on 46% from 3 and won a championship. I mean, yeah, that's a great way to go out, and it looks like the Warriors retired his jersey as well, which I think is kind of cool. I think that makes a ton of sense, obviously. But let's go to the lottery. I don't believe we have a lottery pick, obviously, but we may have we have a late first round pick. So these are going to be big time because, of course, the further you go along, the more expensive this team is going to get. Jason Kidd is someone I do want to extend as well, so I'm going to look to extend him, so he'll stick around. But yeah, I think if we can hit on these late picks and develop talent as these 10 years go on, that's going to be big time. So 29th pick. Now, we don't have a ton of draft picks, obviously, but we can try to make the best of what we have. So at pick 29, we have a point guard. We have Boozer down here, or Braden Burries, or Jasper Johnson. I think I am just going to simplify it with taking, he's 6'1". Maybe go some different. Thomas could be interesting as well. 6'9" forward, 32 games played, 21 on 39% from 3. Yeah, I'm sold on that, so we'll go ahead and grab him late in this draft out of Florida, so I feel good about that. He'll be a 72 overall, so probably not someone who's going to play for us right away, but still like it. D'Lo declines his player option, so we might be losing him. And Lively, of course, will be accepting Ryan Nembhard, Miles Kelly. Those guys were 2 ways. And then for free agency, we have PJ Washington, which Didn't he get an extension in real life? 2K has not put that in the game. I didn't realize that. Unless if I'm crazy. I could be going crazy. But I'm going to resign PJ Washington. We'll get that out of the way because I do want to keep him around. This first, like I said, couple or 3 years of this rebuild, we are all about contending. Like, there's no reason to go away from that. So we do lose Klay Thompson. That's a big hit for us as far as that starting shooting guard spot. But Christie could maybe, do something there. So we'll see. But we could bring in like a Gary Trent, a Malik Beasley, Isaiah Joe, Chris Dunn. A lot of different options. But I do like the idea of bringing in Lonzo Ball. Always love having him as a backup point guard. Looks like D'Lo is still someone we could bring back as well. But I'm actually okay with just going with Lonzo Ball. And then what I want to do with Jaden Hardy is I want to move him to the 2 guard because Jaden Hardy is like a sneaky good player that like develops extremely well in 2K. So I'm actually willing to give him kind of a role there. So then for center, I mean, we don't need another center. AD can slide over there if injuries happen. So Ryan Nembhard, Kelly, those guys are back. So you got AD, of course, already regressing, which, is expected. Cooper Flagg is up to an 89. Lively's up to an 83. So a lot of good stuff. And as I mentioned, Jaden Hardy, he's already, like, sneakily developing, which is nice. So we're going to year 2 with not many changes, obviously. Bring in Lonzo Ball and a late pick. That's about it for our offseason 1. So this year, the rotation is basically the same other than Klay Thompson is obviously gone from retirement, and we brought in Lonzo Ball. So nothing much has changed here, just kind of a simple rotation. Jaden Hardy is going to be playing the starting shooting guard spot, so I'm kind of curious to see how that's going to go. But hopefully it goes well. Power rank has us 4th overall. The expectation is that this team is going to be good again. We just got to figure out when is the right time to move in the direction that Cooper Flagg is the guy and everyone else can just kind of, fade out. So, like, we got to find a way to maybe figure out what to do with Anthony Davis. Do we trade him? We just let him walk? We'll have to, see when we get there. But once again, another really good season in the book, 65-17. Here is your all-NBA first team. So no Cooper Flagg just yet, but I'm assuming we'll eventually see him here in the future. Here's our offensive team. So I don't know if I saw a single Mavericks name on here, which is kind of crazy with the record that we had, but I guess it's just how it fell. So that, it is what it is on that front. But first in the West again, and here were your player stats. We had Cooper Flagg with 21. Kyrie Irving still leading the way with 23. Played all 82 games. AD, of course, only played 61, but 19-8. Jaden Hardy, as I mentioned, was going to step up into a big role. And, yeah, he did that. 45% from 3 on 5 attempts a game. 10 points from Washington and 9 from Derek Lively. So let's go ahead and get into our second playoffs of this video. Look at our whole rotation just being on fire right now. So that's a good sign. But in round 1, we're going to be playing the Memphis Grizzlies, who have Cedric Howard, John Morant, Middleton, Jackson, Edey, Jalen Wells, and Ty Jerome. I mean, I feel fairly confident we should be able to beat the Grizzlies, and yeah, we beat them in 4. Now for the Phoenix Suns, Devin Booker, Green, Brooks, Rasheed Fleming, Mark Williams, Anthony Simons, Malo Waj, and Ryan Dunn. I mean, it's another team that I feel like we should beat fairly easily, and we do beat them in 6. And now for the LA Clippers. So Cam Thomas joined the Clippers, and Zubac is still there. Harden and Kawhi, of course, are still there as well. But we're upright. I mean, the Clippers, I'm not going to take them lightly, but so far, going our way unless they even it up. Nope, we will beat them in 6, maybe? Yes, okay, so we're back in the NBA Finals. We get to play the Chicago Bulls, who are always sneakily really good. So maybe we take them a little bit more seriously than you would like to think we would. So let's see, though, if we can't take down the Bulls and get our 2nd championship in a row of the video. 2-0. It's looking good. Yeah, I kind of expected this. So we beat the beat the Bulls in 4, and then Kyrie Irving this time around is your Finals MVP. It was 80 last year. This time it's Kyrie averaging 37 points per game. So we're off to an incredible start. No shocker there. So we do not have a first-round pick this offseason. It's going to be going to the Charlotte Hornets at pick 30, so that's fine. Of course, we know we have Jason Kidd for the foreseeable future. Again, this is another offseason that I don't anticipate a lot changing. I don't think I'm ready to move on from AD and Kyrie just yet. Now, AD does have a player option, so kind of interested to see what he's going to do with that. But once we get in that age 35, 36, 37 season, it's going to be kind of tough to figure out. And then Kyrie also has a player option as well. So actually, this could be a big offseason more than I kind of expected. So again, I don't believe we have a pick at all. So no picks to speak of. Let's just go to player options. So we got Cooper Flagg, of course, we're accepting. So AD actually accepted his player option. Kyrie Irving is declining his option. We are going to accept Jaden Hardy, and then Max Christie and Caleb Martin accepted their option, which is fine by me. So the only guy we're losing is Kyrie Irving. And of course, he is still playing extremely well. So I don't think I want to move on from him just yet. I think there's more championships to be won. And we do have Derek Lively as a big free agent here as well. So again, I don't expect a lot to change. Kyrie is getting an offer from the Miami Heat. So there is a chance he does leave us, which would really suck. But I'm willing to bring him back. I would give him a 2-year deal, I think. I think that's the most I'd be willing to commit to Kyrie Irving for this, couple of seasons. Let's see if that's enough to bring him back. It does seem like that is. And I'm going to give Lively a 5-year deal. I know I want him as my center for the foreseeable future. So Lively and Kyrie are both back. Again, not a whole lot changing, at least not yet, but we will get there. So is there anything else I want to bring in before we call this an off season? I mean, the team is still playing incredibly well. So the only thing I can think to do is Ryan Dunn kind of being here is actually really nice. That could be a nice pickup for the future. Or Prosper, who the Mavericks waived, but I guess there's no point of bringing it back since they waived him. Got Dembona, but yeah, I do like the idea of Ryan Dunn being here. This would be a really good pickup. So the Suns, for whatever reason, did not keep him. I mean, getting him for 4 years, I think I'd like that a lot. So we'll bring in Ryan Dunn. That feels like a really good addition. And now we can go to progression. And again, we are going to notice some regression here. So Kyrie and AD, they're still serviceable though, which is why we're, probably going with them for a couple more seasons. Although AD is on the last year of his deal, so that's something to keep in mind. But you do have pretty much the rest of the roster developing other than PJ Washington. But Ryan Dunn and Christie going up is nice. All right, let's go into year number 3. We're going to try to go for the three-peat, I guess, and we'll see if that happens. So again, the rotation is not changing too much. Ryan Dunn is the main addition. And then I guess I wasn't really paying attention to how our young first-round pick developed. He only developed into a 73 overall, so nothing too crazy just yet. But maybe in the future we get something more out of him. Power rank has his 3rd overall, anticipating another really good regular season. Maybe even anticipating a 3rd championship in a row. We'll have to see if it works out that way. So I did decide to stop at the contract extension deadline because I know we have Kyrie Irving for 1 more year. So I feel like it only makes sense to have AD for 1 more year as well. So we're going to extend AD for another season. So we're going to have one last chapter, I think, after this with Kyrie and AD. And they're both going to be walking in free agency. I don't think I'll be trading either of them at the age of 34 and 35, even though it may make sense to do so. But I'm actually okay with just trying to go out on a note of winning a championship. But there's other guys that want extensions as well. So Max Christie is someone that I would love to keep going forward. Same thing with Daniel Gafford. We'll give him a nice 3-year deal. And then Jaden Hardy, who I think has earned himself an extension too. So yeah, we're getting quite a bit of guys extended. And then Caleb Martin, someone that he can go ahead and leave. That's fine with us. So I think we've set the foundation next to Cooper Flagg in the future. Once Kyrie and AD are gone, we'll see what free agency looks like to add next to him. And I think that's when he's going to get his contract. So we should have a clean cap sheet and have the ability to, surround Cooper Flagg with the next wave of talent, whatever it may be. So no surprise here, another really good regular season, 67 and 15. We continue to conquer the Western Conference and no one can seem to touch us up to this point. But yeah, and I again don't really see anybody on all NBA teams for us, but I'm assuming Cooper Flagg maybe eventually gets an all offensive team, but still not to this point. But I imagine with Kyrie and AD, when they're out of the way, that will change, but nothing for us there. So here were your player stats. You had 23 from Kyrie Irving, 21 from Flagg, and 18 from AD. Like I said, this will be the second to last playoff run. Next year will be the last one with Kyrie and AD, and then we'll move on to the next chapter. So let's see if we can go win ourselves a couple championships. We finished up as the first seed at 67 and 15, 12 games above the rest of the West. So I think it's safe to say that we kind of own this conference up to this point. But let's see if we can't beat the Pelicans in round 1, and we are going to do just that. Now we get the Spurs, which should be interesting because, of course, there's one guy that should threaten us. It is Wemby and the Spurs, but I don't think we've had to play them just yet, if I'm not mistaken. So let's see if we are able to beat them, and we can go to our diamond rotation as well in the playoffs, so we'll do that. So let's see if we can't take out the Spurs, and yeah, that was easy work. And now we get to play the Phoenix Suns, who have Devin Booker. I think we already played this team once, so I imagine we get them again here, 2-0, 3-0, and we will sweep them. So we have not dropped a game in the West yet. And now we're going to play the Hawks. So they still have Trae Young, still have Dice Nails, Reece Shea, Jalen Johnson. So definitely a still nice roster in Atlanta. And of course, these teams are kind of tied together, but Luka's not here anymore, so maybe it's not as much. But we're up 3-1, and we'll win our 3rd championship of the video. Cooper Flagg this time gets your Finals MVP. So it's been AD, Kyrie, and now Cooper Flagg. So off to an incredible start. No surprise. So this year we do have a draft pick at pick 30. So we'll have to see if we can hit on that. It's going to be tough to do so. But can you imagine being drafted as a rookie and you've just won 3 championships in your first 3 seasons as like a focal point of the team? That would be kind of wild. But yeah, that's what's happened. And next year we have that Lakers pick from the Luka trade. So we'll have to see if that turns into anything. But let's go see what we can get with this late pick in this draft, if anything at all. So probably just take the best player available here with Peter Bjelica. Bialica, I think, if I'm saying that name correctly. So welcome to the team out of Serbia. We're good at center, but, you know, just having another center isn't a bad thing. So 72 overall. Player options, we're going to accept our first round pick from a couple years ago. Don't want to let him walk for nothing. And then free agency, I don't think we have anybody really to worry about. Caleb Martin, of course, but not really sweating him. We don't have enough money for Luka, but that would be interesting if we did. But again, we're going with Kyrie and AD, one last final run, and that will be it. So yeah, again, not much movement's going to happen. I want to bring Lonzo Ball back again. I'm going to give him a 1-year deal to bring him back. We'll run this cavalry back, go for a 4th championship in a row, and we'll see if it pays off. But progression, we do have Kyrie and AD both regressing, but this will be their final chapter in Dallas. And after that, I mean, for whatever reason, if the team is struggling at the deadline, maybe I consider trading Kyrie and AD, but I don't anticipate that being the case. Flagg's going to get his extension soon as well. He's up to a 97 overall, so it's going to be very interesting to see what this team looks like with Kyrie and AD gone. I can't wait to figure out who we're going to bring in. So there he is, Cooper Flagg winning MVP just in time for his new max extension to kick in when that happens. So that makes sense. 67-15 again. And Flagg also won Cup MVP. So yeah, he knows he's about to get a bag this offseason. He is day-to-day with a hyperextended knee, but thankfully he is going to be healthy, it looks like, when we get in there. So Anthony Davis was willing to re-sign again, but again, I think I'm moving on to the next chapter, man. I think we've held on to them long enough. We know regression's coming for them eventually. 20 from Kyrie. I mean, it's already kind of showing. AD's only averaging 15 points per game now. So I think this is the right time to move on from those guys. So let's see if we can get another championship before they are gone. So the Rockets, who have Collier, Amin Thompson, Christian Collins, who technically, or funny enough, I added Collins to that team yesterday in that Rockets video. And the team I'm using today just killed us every single time we saw them. But we will sweep the Rockets, and that theme continues. Okay, so now for the Memphis Grizzlies, who have had Cedric Coward develop into a really good player, and Jalen Wells. So this could be a tougher matchup, but I feel like the Grizzlies always do bad because I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like Jaren Jackson is a very bad 2K sim player because he doesn't rebound. But yeah, so he was averaging, I don't know what it is, but I feel like every time I use the Grizzlies, it doesn't go the greatest because of Jaren Jackson. But we get to play the the Timberwolves. So the Lakers made the playoffs, so it looks like that pick ain't going to be anything special, unfortunately. They added Nate Man. Oh, and Jokic joined Luka Doncic. That makes sense. And Denny Avdija is there too, so that's quite a connection. But Minnesota does go up 1-0 on us, and they smoked us in that game, so that's not a good sign. We do even it up, and we smoked them right back, and 2-1, 3-1, and it looks like it may be a rematch in the finals unless the Wolves... Nope, we do beat them. So looks like the Hawks are going to have, I think, home court advantage this time as well. So, does that matter, though? Yeah, they go up 1-0. We even it up. Game 3 goes to Atlanta. Uh-oh, we might be stumped here. The Hawks may have gotten us, or do we force a Game 7? Cooper Flagg is injured. Oh, that's why they have us. But it looks like he's still playing through it. We may be able to force a Game 7 still. And can you imagine, like I said, winning 4 championships right when you get drafted? That just sounds insane. And very, very unrealistic, really. Oh, he's got a season-ending ankle injury, but he's playing through it and it's still a 95 overall. So no worries here. Okay, I'm going to Game 7 in Dallas to win our 4th championship of the video. Get Kyrie and AD riding off in the sunset on a hot note. They had to lead most of the game, but we take it back, and we're going to win 123-121. That is another championship. Cooper Flagg, Finals MVP. So he's added all the accolades right before he's about to get paid. I'm curious if Kyrie or AD retire on that note. So let's see. No, it doesn't look like it. It looks like they're going to keep playing. Unfortunately, I don't think I'll be keeping either of them. We're moving on to the next chapter. 4 championships, though, is not a bad way to start this off. So all in all, that trade that involved Luka Doncic, the Lakers, the pick that they traded ended up at pick 16, which is right outside the lottery. So I don't know. That's not really a W, I would think. But at the end of the day, we have one. Oh, I don't want to fire just a kid. I want to continue to keep him. So, but at the end of the day, we have had 4 championships won. So I don't know. Is Nico a genius? According to 2K26, they are. All right. Draft night is coming. 16th overall pick. This is going to be a very interesting offseason, I will say. We know we have quite a few role players on nice extensions, but we will draft here as well. So I'm not looking to trade this pick. Cam Mercer is a steal at this point. Definitely love that pick, and I'm not going to hesitate to take him. So welcome to Dallas, Cam Mercer out of Florida State. I'm pretty sure he's someone who can play for us right away if I remember his overall being good. And yeah, 76 overall. So that is a nice pick. I love that. So looks like that Luka pick turned out to be pretty solid. I think Cam Mercer is going to be a good player for us, and Flagg is a free agent. Of course, we got to get that taken care of. And then I don't even know what kind of salary we'll have after that. But AD, Kyrie, like they're willing to come back, and I get that, but I'm letting all these guys walk, and we're gonna go to the next chapter. So Cooper Flagg is gonna get his contract. That's gonna be taken care of. We're his #1 option. So we're going to renounce everybody else. I'm not bringing AD. I'm not bringing Kyrie. Not bringing Washington back. So let's start to figure out what we're gonna do after this. So Cooper Flagg is signed, and we do still have money to sign a couple of other good players still. So what do we want to bring in? So no point guard at the moment. We are good at shooting guard. We obviously have Flagg and Ryan Dunn. We have Thomas, who, I mean, maybe he can play in this season, but I don't know. And we can also end up moving Cooper Flagg to the 4 if we need to as well. I know he's versatile on that note. Lively and Gafford still our center rotation, and Bielitsa is still here. So I feel good about our forwards. I think it's mainly the guard spot. So let's see if there's a guard worth signing here. Other than Kyrie, I don't know if there is, which is funny. And then there's Cam Whitmore, there's Grimes. There is Jaden McDaniels, which I do love the idea of bringing in Jaden McDaniels. He's 28 years old, so still, or Carter Bryant for that note as well. Or Derek Queen, who's unrestricted, who would be interesting. But yeah, there's quite a few good options here that we can bring in. So got to decide which one makes the most sense. Do we bring in the younger player in Carter Bryant and, you know, see what he can do for us? Or do we add Jaden McDaniels, who is someone that would, you know, really add to this defense? I think I'm going to have to figure that out. So I'm going to go for the younger upside swing and Carter Bryant. And I'm also going to bring Kyrie Irving back. I wasn't going to, but there's just not a point guard to me that's worth signing. We could go for LaMelo Ball, and that could be interesting, but that would be all my money gone. And I would like to bring in a small forward as well. So Kyrie Irving and Carter Bryant is my hope here. So we get Carter Bryant, and Kyrie is actually going to leave, which, okay, so originally I wasn't going to bring him back. So I guess we're kind of forced to not bring him back. So I guess we'll be moving like maybe Hardy to point guard, or someone's going to start over there. It's probably going to be Jaden Hardy playing point guard this year, which I think he can get it done, but that was not my initial plan. And I guess we can just bring Lonzo Ball back. I wasn't going to, but we still have cap room, so we'll bring Lonzo in. Just kidding. We're not bringing any of these guys in so far. Davion Mitchell is someone who I think would fit well. So that will be our addition. So the team is going to be much worse, but I'm hoping Carter Bryant has some development in him. He's up to an 82 overall. Flagg has slid down to the power forward spot. Lively is down 2 overall. So this team is definitely going to be worse. Bielitsa developing, though, is a great sign. So I do feel like a championship regression thing is coming. But it looks like we have the ability to maybe trade for some at the deadline. We'll find out if that's an option, but I think we do. Well, despite losing AD and Kyrie, power rank is still very high on us. We are power rank 2nd overall, and here is your starting 5. So I do want to start Davion Mitchell, so I guess that's fine. I was, you know, more than willing to start, I would say, Jaden Hardy, but looks like they got Corey Kispert on the team as well. But I do want Mercer to play some this year, so I'm going to put Mercer in this spot over Kispert. But yeah, we're a deep team. Davion Mitchell, Christie, Carter Bryant, Flagg, Lively, Gafford. But as I mentioned, I do think we have some money open because it looked like we had some salary cap to maybe, just maybe, trade for a guard and bring them in. Yeah, so look at our team salary total. It's very cheap. So we have $30 million in cap room, so we can absorb a contract and bring in a potential point guard. So we'll be exploring that idea at the trade deadline and seeing if there's an option. So definitely keep that in mind. I feel like this team is going to hit some regression with AD and Kyrie gone, but so far, the team is still playing extremely well, so maybe Cooper Flagg is just broken, and it is what it is. But I'll see you guys more than likely at the deadline. So we are at the trade deadline as we're 14 games over 500 at the moment, and I have an idea of a guy I want to bring in. One guy I was very curious about was Cade Cunningham, because I feel like Cade is a player that's like really broken in 2K as well, and a Cade and Derek, or sorry, I almost said Derek Lively for some reason. A Cade, or not Derek Lively, but Cade and Cooper Flagg duo could be crazy, but unfortunately, Cade is untouchable. But I do have another guy in mind, and he's not someone I've often grabbed. And looking at Jeremiah Fears, he's 23 years old, at point guard. We kind of need a point guard for the future here. He'd fit the theme throughout the rest of the video. I think he averaged 25 points per game last year. I think he's probably taking a backseat to Cam Thomas this year is my guess, and maybe even RJ. I don't know. But they're a bad team, so my plan is to hopefully bring in Jeremiah Fears here somehow. So let's see if we can pull that off. So, we're going to start with, I mean, what do we got to offer? So Ryan Dunn, Jaden Hardy. Gafford is injured. I would maybe even include him in this trade, but it looks like we can't. So if we just offered our unprotected, so this trade's illegal because we need a player in this trade, I think. So Max Christie would make this trade. Okay, so we're going to need something a little bit more than that. Cam Mercer is not someone I want to move in this scenario, I'm going to be honest. But a 2031 unprotected, I mean, what do we need picks for anyway? And then let's say we threw them Bielitsa, I guess. So 2031, 2033 unprotected, and Bielitsa for Jeremiah Fears. What do they say? They say no to that initial offer. A second that's pretty juicy, no. Another second, no. And another second, no. Would I go up to 3 first? I would be maybe willing to do so, but it would be tough to do. And again, like the 2 guys that I'd be more than okay with trading right now are both hurt. That's not helping either. I'll go 1 more first. I'm willing to do it. I think this makes us... Okay, so Fears is not something we're going to be able to get at the deadline. So I guess I'll just wait my time until the offseason then. But that was going to be my big move. Unfortunately, did not happen. We'll just wait till the offseason. So no MVP trophy for Cooper Flagg this year. We know we need to bring in another guy next to Flagg. We tried at the deadline. It didn't work out. But he is not an all-defensive team either, so that's not a good sign. Maybe he didn't play enough games. I'm not sure. We are the 3rd seed in the West regardless. So if we look at the player stats, he played... Oh, yeah, he literally played 64 games, so he wasn't eligible, funny enough. But 29 from Cooper Flagg, 19 from Jaden Hardy, 14 from Carter Bryant, 13 from Thomas, 10 from Kispert, and 9 from Lively. But let's get in these playoffs. So this is going to be our first time with no AD or Kyrie. I have no idea what to expect. I'm going to imagine that this team probably isn't going to win it all this year, but we'll find out. So Sacramento is our round 1 matchup. George, Christie, Hugo, Keegan Murray, and Toure at the center. And we will be in a 3-2 series with them, and we beat them in 6. So, hey, we get out of round 1 at least. And we get to play the 7-seeded Grizzlies, so we don't have to deal with Jokic and Doncic, so that's a good sign. We were able to beat the Grizzlies like every time we played them earlier, but of course this team is different, so, you know, it's going to be a different expectation here, but I do think we can beat them. So, game 1 goes to us, game 2 goes to us, game 3 goes to us, and we'll sweep the Grizzlies. So now for the Phoenix Suns, it looks like, and we've been able to beat them as well, but again, they are a much better team now, and their team has developed really well. So this is going to be tough, I would imagine. But game 1, we beat them by 25. They even it up. Game 3 goes to us. Do we really get back to the finals already? No, it looks like the Suns may derail us here for the first time. But let's see if the dynasty is over here. Unless if we're able to force a game 7 back to Phoenix and maybe win there. But it looks like the Suns will finally take us down. I do feel like if we were able to pull off that trade for Fears, maybe things would have been different. But unfortunately, I gave up all I could, and they were not willing to budge. The Suns do go on and win it all. So for the first time in the video, we do not win a championship. We do not own our first round pick this offseason, as the Spurs will have it at 26, but I do believe we'll have cap room, and that's going to be a big thing to figure out because, like I said, we got to bring in a guy next to Cooper Flagg. We do have a 2nd pick in this draft, though, so that could be big time if we get somebody good there. So let's see if we can, you know, cash in on that. So we got Clark Wilkes. I don't know anything about these guys, so I'm just going to go ahead and take the top guy, hope for something good there, and he is going to be a 72 overall. So not terrible for a 2nd round pick. Bielitsa will accept as well. And then qualifying offers, Thomas is a free agent, so we'll see what we do with him, but he hasn't really turned any... Oh, you know who's available? Wembanyama, but yeah, we don't have enough money for that. Peterson is available, but he's restricted. Mobley. What do we have? Okay, so we can bring in like a George or Reed Shepherd, so doesn't sound too bad. Keontae George would be okay. It's not my favorite target in the world, but if we look at what he's been able to do, he's averaging 20 on really good efficiency. So, you know, I don't hate it. So I do think that might be our target in free agency. So we know we need a point guard. I'm hoping Cam Mercer can develop into like an 80 overall this offseason. We'll see if it does work out that way. I still feel good about our center rotation. Although Lively is... Or no, he's still an 82. I was looking at Gafford. Okay, so... Yeah, George has 1 offer. It's not a serious offer. I do think Keontae George is going to be our best bet at this moment. Unless there's someone else I'm not really seeing. I guess we can go like one of these restricted guys and hope they get even better, which is possible. Reed Shepherd is kind of interesting too, but I think I'm going Keontae George here. So we're going to give Keontae George a deal. A little bit more than I'd want to pay Keontae George, but I mean, if we get him on the team, I think that's a big addition. So I'm going Keontae George. Do I have to renounce? No, I have to renounce Thomas, which I think it's fine. He hasn't turned into anything too crazy for us, so I'm not going to miss him that much. So Keontae George is a great addition, though, and I need Cam Marsh to develop into something special. And then let's just bring in, I see Danny Wolf, Keldon Johnson, but I do like the idea of Peyton Watson. So I'm going to give Peyton Watson a 3-year deal, bring him in. Just kidding, goes to Miami, so that's not going to happen. I guess we'll just turn our attention. I mean, Danny Wolf, I guess, is interesting. Got 46% from 3, I guess, so... I'll give him a 2-year deal. He can maybe slide over to the 5 if needed. So, all right. I think that's going to be our offseason. So, George is the big addition. It's not my favorite, But Cam Mercer, not quite the 80 overall I was kind of like hoping for, but Keontae George next to Flagg, I think can work. We definitely need to hope that maybe we can get, just maybe we can make another trade at the deadline. We did not trade anything for Jeremiah Fears, so we're able to get George here for free instead, or I guess with cap space. But we'll go into this next season. Got to the conference finals last year, fell short, but would George have made things different if we had him? Potentially. So here is the rotation. Things are mostly the same, other than, of course, you're going to have, Max Christie in here. And Cam Mercer is still not starting, which kind of don't love that, but whatever. We're a deep team. Shooting guard could be something to maybe look at in the future. George, I feel like, is fine at point guard. A little bit more money than I wanted to give him, and we have a 99 Cooper Flagg. Power rank has his first overall. Proficiency is a 4.5, so I'm expecting good things still. If I do stop at the deadline to make any kind of addition to the team, I will show you. I will definitely be seeking for more talent because I do think we need to get better than what we are currently. But I like where we're at. Just would like to maybe add maybe one more piece of this. So I do have a target here at the trade deadline, and it is none other than Grady Dick. He's someone I love trading for because he's always on a sweet contract, and he's like a really tall shooter. He's like the epitome of what you'd want. And look at them. They're 12 and 37. They're absolute poverty. So I'm going to see if I can pull off a trade with the Toronto Raptors to get Grady Dick. That's the one position in my starting lineup that I felt pretty weak about. Now his contract may go up. It does. It goes up 1920, but again, it's still not terrible. So I'm more than okay with doing this. Now we have to match his salary somehow, obviously. So what are we going to trade away is the question. So Gafford is someone that I am willing to throw in here to start the conversation. And then Brian, I'm going to keep away from. Hardy, I'm going to keep away from. Christie, I guess, since we're getting a shooting guard here. So Gafford, Max Christie, and let's say it's our unprotected 2031. And let's see if that's enough. No, it's not. Okay. What if we throw our 2033 unprotected as well? And that's enough. So we get Grady Dick on the team. To me, that is a fantastic addition. George, Grady Dick, Carter Bryant, Flagg, Lively, Jaden Hardy. And then there was some guys that were willing to sign some extensions as well. So let's see who is, willing to do that. So Ryan Dunn, definitely want to keep him around. So only 20 years old. Lively, someone I want to keep around as well. And then Jaden Hardy. I feel like he's earned his ability to stick here as well. Okay, so that is our trade deadline, our contract extension deadline. As you can see, that most of the team is locked up for multiple years, so we're in a good spot. And I love the addition of Grady Dick to add some more spacing to the team. I'll see you guys at the end of the season. So Cooper Flagg gets the MVP trophy at the end of this season. He also gets Depoy over Wembanyama, which is a rare sight. But Coach of the Year goes to Jason Kidd at 66 and 16. So we're back on top, which is good. So I do think that Grady Dick addition really helped out a ton. So I'm very happy that it did. First seed in the West. Here were your player stats. So you had 29 from Cooper Flagg, 23 from Keontae George. So he turned out to be a really good addition to the team. 18 from Jaden Hardy. And then George shot 42% from 3. So, yeah, the spacing on this team is also extremely good as well. So, I think we're well on our way to maybe win another championship this season. I think we have a good enough roster to do so, especially led by none other than Cooper Flagg. So, round 1, we draw the Sacramento Kings, who we were able to beat last year. They do have Paulo Banchero now, though, so that could be interesting. But we will sweep them. So, off to a good start here. And now for the Minnesota Timberwolves, who have Anthony Edwards, God Dillingham, Noah, and, Aiden's their center now. Game 1 goes to Minnesota, though. We do even it up, though. Game 3 goes to us. Game 4 goes to us. And we are in the conference finals. All right. For the Phoenix Suns, who did beat us last year, we've had their number most of the time, but they got us last year. And Cooper Flagg is injured at the moment, but he is still playing through it. It's only day-to-day bruised left hip, so I think we should be all right. We're down 1-0, though. We even it up. Game 3 goes to us. Game 4 goes to them. Okay, so honestly, the Hawks, the Suns have been kind of a repeat of what we've seen, and of course, us too. But we need to go up 3-2 here if we can. We're at home in Dallas. It looks like we'll do just that, so we take care of business here. Can we beat them on the road in Game 6? Yes, we are back in the NBA Finals. Now we're going to play the Atlanta Hawks, who we'll see if we can take them out. They almost got us earlier, but now it is time to see if we can get them again here. So 1-0. 2-0. Oh, it's looking good. Hold on. They may even it up. Okay, they do. Hold on. We're not out of the woods yet, but we got a Game 5 in Dallas to hopefully take a 3-2 lead here. It's a back and forth game. The Hawks may have our number this time, but no, we are going to win Game 5 just barely. Hardy did get hurt, so he's going to be out for the next game, it looks like, so that's kind of a tough blow. But can we win Game 6 on the road? Yes, we can. So it's another championship in the video. Cooper Flagg is their finals MVP. So even without Kyrie and AD, we're still able to get it done. I don't anticipate this team changing much. I really like what we've thrown together here. The team is still young enough that I think we're in a great spot. So we will not have a pick. The Raptors will have it from the Grady Dick trade. Jason Kidd, I mean, continues to just be dominant. So I'm going to leave him on the team. Let's go to draft night, even though I believe we don't have a first. So we're going to be riding the rest of this video coasting, basically, because I mean, there's going to be small changes here and there. Don't get me wrong. But like Bielitsa, Wilkes, we'll accept those. Mercer, we'll see if he develops anything this offseason. And then for free agency, we have no free agents to worry about. So although we do have money to sign a good player, it looks like. So we may look to do that. So Jaden Hardy, Keontae George, Cam Mercer, Grady Dick, Carter Bryant, Ryan Dunn, and Wilkes, Cooper Flagg, Danny Wolf, Lively, and Bielitsa. Okay. I mean, I saw like Hero here, which would be interesting. DJ and OG Anunoby, or even like Jabari Smith Jr. What did he do last year? 12 points per game and 36% from three. I mean, I'll bring in Jabari Smith Jr. for some extra depth. Just kidding, goes to Brooklyn. So every time I feel like I'm going to get somebody, I just don't. OG Anunoby, though, is someone I would not be opposed to. So I'm going to throw him a 2-year deal, see what he'll come over. And again, we're not getting him either. So far, no one wants to come to this team at this point. We do have this guy as well as unrestricted. Knicks are giving him an offer. I'll throw him a deal, see if he wants to come to Dallas, and he does. So he's probably versatile where we can move him around. So I like that addition. Gonna be the only one. Progression, though. George is starting to go down. You know, the guy we just brought in is up to an 84, so that's good. And Cam Mercer is up to an 81, so that's fantastic. We'll probably keep... yeah, I guess we'll kind of keep him at the... No, we'll move him to the 3, actually. I think this guy could start for us now that I think about it. So I'm going to move him over to the 3. Carter Bryant hits the bench. And yeah, I like it. All right, let's get into next season, man. Let's try to go win once more. MVP goes to Cooper Flagg, who is just probably well on his way to a Hall of Fame trophy or to the Hall of Fame already. He also gets Depoy. Coach of the Year goes to Jason Kidd. So yeah, this Mavericks team, man, it's unstoppable. It's just all there is to it at this point. So first in the West, I mean, we did get stopped one time, and they got lucky because we were able to pull off that trip for Fears. I wonder if I had Fears that season, if we would have just won every single championship to this point. So, but here were your stats. 31 from Flagg, 20 from Keontae George, and even that new addition averaged 17 as our third leading scorer. So that seemed like a great free agency addition. So we just keep adding. The rich get richer. We get to play the OKC Thunder, who at this point have, I mean, they basically look the same other than they've obviously had some players develop for them, but let's see if we can take them out. Somebody cut around, and we will beat them in 5. Now for the Lakers. So the first time, I believe we get to play Luka Doncic and Jokic as well. So this could be a tough matchup, but let's see if Luka has it over his former team. So far, not to this point, and it looks like we will sweep the Lakers. And now for the Suns again. I thought we were actually going to get somebody different. I mean, we played the Spurs already, but the Suns. Okay, well, let's see if we can go win on this against Suns. They do go up 1-0. We even it up. Game 3 goes to us. Game 4 goes to them. Game 5, big game here. We're up 3-2. Beat them in 6. No, game 7. All right. So we got the Wizards in the finals. I've not seen them there before, but let's see if we can't go out here and win game 7 to get into the finals again. The Suns are trying to get there. They've already gotten there once, and they will get there again. So they do get us this time. Okay. Well, I guess all good things must come to an end eventually. The Washington Wizards with Zion and Peterson get there. I think that would have been a tough team to beat anyway, but the Suns take them out. So Devin Booker, he gets himself a couple rings in this video up to this point. So shout out to the Suns. Here are your retirements. And again, this is going to be another offseason where I don't anticipate a lot happening. We have the 30th pick. We're at the point where the draft classes are auto-generated. We're way too far in the future to kind of understand what those draft classes would look like. So Mercer, Dante Hood, we'll bring Mercer back. Bielitsa is some, and Clark Wilkes for that matter. 2 guys I would want to bring back. And then free agency, Bielitsa, let's give him a nice 2-year deal to bring him going forward. Danny Wolf's a free agent, so might need a new power forward. Okay. Is that Luka Doncic? Did I just see Luka Doncic? Or no, not affordable. I thought Luka Doncic was the affordable tab for a second. I was like, no way. Mika could be interesting, or George. George, I guess. I'll go for Kaishan George, I should say. So we got 2K Georges now. Anything else we want to add? Hardy, Mercer. No, I'm feeling good. All right, let's go to progression. Let's see if Flagg is going to regress at all. Nope, he's still at 99. He's only 25, so that's, you know, what it should be. Kasha and George and Byleets are both down, but all right, man, we're going to go into this next season. Not a lot's changing again, and we'll just ride these last few seasons out and see if we'll get one more championship, 2 or 3. Another MVP trophy for Cooper Flagg and another DPOY. I mean, and another Coach of the Year for Jason Kidd. It's just, at this point, it's like clockwork. I mean, it is what it is. So we are the first team in the West again. The only team that's been able to stop us is, oh, we got Yusufu out, though, for the entire season. And he's been a really good addition. Honestly, just kind of like a throw-in, go sign him guy. And he's been awesome. But unfortunately, he is going to miss some time here for these playoffs. So we will be playing the Houston Rockets, who I feel like we should be able to beat. But let's see. And we will sweep them. Now this is the team that's given us some issues, the Phoenix Suns. We get them in the second round rather than the conference finals. As we go up 1-0, we're up 2-0. The one thing I feel like we have over the Suns is we are younger than they are, and Devin Booker, maybe his age is showing, I don't know, but we get to the conference finals, and we get to play the Warriors, who I've not had to deal with at all in this video, I don't believe. And they have a nice young roster that could give us some issues. Ace Bailey, Timmy Gilliard, Bronny James, Asa Newell, and Cameron Williams. So game 1 does go to the Warriors. Oh. Wait, can we even it up, though? Yes, we can. Can we win 3 straight? Oh, I was scared for a second, but it's all over. We're back in the finals. So we play the Indiana Pacers. Unfortunately, we're doing this without Yusufu as well. So that's big time. But Indiana, they have Halliburton, Whitehead, Nathan, Jarvis Walker, and Chris. So it's a solid team in Indy, but let's see if we get them 2-0, 3-0, and what do you know? Another championship coming our way to the Dallas Mavericks. Cooper Flagg stacking up every possible. I actually am curious on what his accolades are. I don't even know if, oh, look at this. So NBA champion 6 times already at the age of 26, 4-time MVP, 4-time finals MVP, 6-time All-Star, 4-time first team All-NBA, and 3-time defensive player of the year. Yeah, it's safe to say this man's Hall of Fame is already written, set in stone, but we're not done yet. We get, I think, a couple more years, bro. So let's see if we can keep adding to it. Even though what we're doing isn't broken per se, I do want to make some kind of move here. We're going to get an upgrade at the center position with Thomas Sorber here. We'll be trading Derek Lively and Carter Bryant to get Sensabaugh and Sorber and a first-round pick, top 3 protected. But at this point, what do I care about picks? So we get Sorber here as an upgrade and Sensabaugh, and of course, he's going to be the bench guy. Yusufu is the starter when he's back. But yeah, that's going to be basically the only move, I believe, this offseason for us. Our picks going to the Raptors from the Grady Dick trade still. And then qualifying offers, Mercer's a free agent. That's a big one. So we'll bring him back. And other than that, I think that's all we're going to really do. So, you know what's even crazier? That this team isn't even in cap hell either. Like, we are just legitimately led by Cooper Flagg, and that's all there is to it. So I'm feeling good about where we're at. Maybe I bring in a power forward real quick. So we got Paul here. I guess I can give like a 3-year deal to, and that will be it if he comes over, which he does. Okay. All right. Let's go to progression. Let's see if any regression's hitting us yet. Flagg is starting to regress finally. 98 overall. Yusufu's down, but Mercer's up to an 84. Byleets is up to an 80, and Paul is up to an 82. All right. Let's get into this. I believe this will be, I think we have 2 more seasons in our arsenal, because once we get to 2035, that will be 10 years. So let's see if we can get 2 more championships. Well, are we surprised? MVP again? Does he get DPOY again? No, it actually goes to Wembanyama in Orlando this time. But what about Coach? Yeah, Coach of the Year goes to Jason Kidd. So I guess Cooper Flagg gets the throne from the DPOY, but he was probably pretty close to it if I had to guess. First seed in the West again. Here were your player stats. So this time we got Grady Dick on the shelf. He's out for 1 to 2 weeks, but hopefully we can still get by. I think Cam Mercer can do the job there, so that's all right. All right, well, here we go. We get round 1, LA Lakers. No Luka Doncic anymore unless if he's just injured. No, he left. Okay, so Jokic's still here, though. So I'm going to curl around against them, and we beat them in 5. Now for the Phoenix Suns. I mean, we've had our trouble against them, but we've been able to beat them as well, and we do beat them here. We played the Warriors last year, and we did beat them, and we will beat them again. Now for the Miami Heat, we have Age Debanza, Alex Sarr, Noah Singay, Elijah Arenas, and Jerry. Game 1 goes to us. Game 2 goes to us. Game 3 goes to us. And do we blow 3-0 lead? Uh-oh, we might. No, we beat them in 6. Okay, another championship. Another finals MVP for Cooper Flagg. We got 1 more season, man. Let's just run it back and If we ended off with 8 championships for Cooper Flagg in his first 10 seasons, that would be pretty nuts. And yeah, that's crazy. Almost. I'm basically doing the Bill Russell challenge today. But all right, let's do one more final season here. So, final season here, and it wouldn't be a final season without Cooper Flagg getting MVP again, and he's back winning DPOY, and Coach of the Year does not go to Jason Kidd this time, though, I will say, and here is your All-NBA teams, all-defensive teams, so, yeah, it's like clockwork, like I said, man, we're definitely going to look at the final accolades after this, even though we looked at it earlier, so, here were your player stats, so, Great Dick, of course, on the shelf again, just like it was last year, but this time he's out for the entire playoffs. 28, 9, and 5 from Flagg, 21 from Keontae George. Portland Trailblazers are a round 1 matchup. They got a 97 Marcus Spears, though, and a 94 Kelvin Mills, who looks like he's from the Wild West or something. But all right, somebody occur around against the Blazers, and we will beat them in 7. That was closer than I would have wanted, but all right, we get past them. Now for the Phoenix Suns, we beat them in 6. And now for the Warriors, we beat them in 5. In the finals again, Miami, we beat them last year, and we do it again. So that's 8 championships, another finals MVP for Cooper Flagg. This is the final result of this. Absolutely incredible. This man had 8 championships, 6 MVPs, 6 finals MVPs, 8 All-Star appearances, 6 first-team All-NBA, and 4 DPOYs. That's actually insane. But I think I've discovered how broken this guy is, and it almost is kind of stupid. I'm not gonna lie. Cooper Flagg is absolutely broken in the 2K simulation, and I don't know. Maybe it'll eventually get fixed. I don't know. But thank you all for watching. This was a fun 10-year rebuild, an easy one at that as well. Definitely got tougher ones in the future, but this is Crushables. I'm saying peace.